First of all, according to you, what do you think is the reason for this comeback? And do you think that it affected the other leagues, the Spanish one in particular?
Well, I think it's all about eras. I think we enjoy an amazing moment, an amazing, I think, 6-7 years in Spain, winning all the trophies, back to back in the Europa League and in the Champions League. But we have to be honest, the Premier League is always strong. I think financially they're stronger than us, and they are really, better positioned. And in the end, it was a matter of time that they can go there. So they have really strong teams, really strong league. Of course, in Spain we are always talking about Real Madrid and Barcelona, the best teams, the best clubs in the world. But the league in the Premier is a different one. I think there are more challenges, there are more teams involved. There are so many people investing in the Premier League from abroad. We are talking about Arab investors, about Chinese investors, something that is happening in Spain little by little. But I think the injection of money, has produced something like that. Anyway, I think it's good to see, different countries from different teams from different countries getting there, and winning the Champions League. I think it would be really boring to see all the time Real Madrid and Barcelona. Although I will love it, I will love to see, Real Madrid winning all the time, but 3 Champions League back-to-back is something that is going to be really, really difficult to repeat.
Let's talk a little bit about Real Madrid, since you're talking about the titles that they won in Champions League. How do you assess the team this season? And do you think that the comeback of Zidane was the correct decision for the team and the coach?
Well, it was a tough decision, from both sides. The first thing from Real Madrid to get him back, because we needed him. It was a tough moment when we changed the manager. We changed the manager twice last year. It was a difficult season, for everybody, for the fans, for the club. Finally, I think we got him back, and we can see that the club is, little by little, getting peacefully, calm, So I think he's the right man. He's the one to control the dressing room. There are 2 ways, to manage a team. Of course, what you do on the pitch, but very important what you do off the pitch. I think everybody respects, Zidane, from the fans, inside the club, the players. And you can see that the start of the season, hasn't been the one we were expecting. But little by little, we see the team growing up, improving a lot. And I can see that February, March is going to be the right time for Zidane's team. I can see a really big improvement. And I can tell you, we are in there ready to challenge, for the 3 titles,
Did you feel the impact of Cristiano Ronaldo leaving Real Madrid? Did you feel it among the team, among everything, the fans? How big was the impact?
Any team that lose Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi are gonna feel a big impact. We are talking about 40, 50 goals. That was meant, Cristiano for us, for Real Madrid, and not having these 50 goals, it pushes another players to step in and try to do the job. But the signings have been different. We didn't sign any number 9. I think we trusted Benzema, and I think Benzema has been the best player in the last, let's say, 1 year and a half. He's scoring a lot of goals. He's creating a lot of goals. It's been very important for us, but still, we need something else. We were really unlucky. We are still waiting for Hazard, because Hazard, of course, can add something special, to the team, and it's something that we are now waiting. But injuries, have been the real challenge for him. But as I said, I think if Hazard is okay, if he's back into the team, and really healthy, and Benzema keeps playing like that, and the team keeps defending like they did, and pressing high like they did against Barcelona, and performing like that, I think we're gonna have a great team for the last 5 months, where in the end, you have to, challenge for the titles.
There are lots of rumors about Real Madrid wanting to sign Kylian Mbappe. Is this correct? Is this among your plans in the near future?
I think in the future, yes, but I don't think it's going to be a short term. I don't think, PSG are going to get rid of such a big player like him. I think if you can, find a substitute right now for Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi when they decide to get retired, I don't see any other one like him, like Mbappe, to be honest. He's an amazing kid. I watched him for the first time on live in the World Cup, and I was really impressed, at his age, what he did, the power, all the things, he does on the pitch, it's a different feeling. So yes, he's the kind of player that we will love in Real Madrid, that the fans would love, that the club will love. But we need to count on PSG, and they are strong, financially. Sure. They're strong, in a football terms, and of course, they're going to fight for him. So I don't see him in a short term, maybe in a long term. And as you said, inshallah, we'll see him in Real Madrid.
Let's talk a little bit about the Euro Cup that's coming very soon in 2020. How ready do you think Spain is to come back to the European, let's say, big championship? Are they ready?
Well, we needed a change. I think we still got some players, from the goal moments, when we won the World Cup and the Euros. But still, we have a lot of players coming through, like Fabian, which is an amazing player, a different player. So I think we have a great team, to try to challenge for the title. I think we're going to be in the mix, with other teams to try to win it. Of course, France are going to be strong. Italy are coming back strong with Mancini. So in the end, the Euros is a special competition. It's very strong. Anything can happen. Even in group stage, you're going to see surprises. So, well, I'm expecting a lot from Spain. We've been through a little trouble, when Luis Enrique had to leave the national team. Now he's back. Kind of a mess, before the World Cup as well. So the first thing we need to have, in the team is, the calm, relaxing the situation, having the manager really focus and concentrated in the national team, and it's happening now. I think Luis has been through a lot of, tough situations, and I wish him, of course, all the best, because we all suffer, with his loss. But now is the moment of the national team to come back. And you're going to see. I think we are expecting an amazing and a great football Euro.
Do you think that having it in 12 different cities is something that would affect the competition negatively? Maybe exhaust the players, or no, it would have a positive impact?
No, I think positively, because even in the World Cup in Brazil, you had to travel longer distances than in Europe. I think in Europe, the distances are really short. 2 hours flight, no more than that, 3 hours maximum, But anyway, the teams are going to stay in one place playing most of the games. So I think it's going to be well organized, and it's adding something special to the fans as well. I think for the fans, not only the European fans, the fans from around the world that go in there and they have the chance to visit different countries and to visit different cultures and different stadiums as well. I think it's going to be an amazing and thrilling Euros. I think it's going to be good for the first time to see a competition played in 12 different countries.
Correct.
I think we have to do the same with the World Cup a little bit. I think it would be a good idea.
You had a big involvement in the Egyptian football. You were there for a while. Tell us a little bit about African football in general. What is your impact or your feedback about that while working there?
Well, it was a short one. I had two moments, of course. The first thing is I was getting my license, my pro license at the same time. So I had the opportunity to help, the national team a little bit, and to learn, of course, because it was my first, let's say, job or role. I was like a third assistant, not making a lot of decisions, but just getting in there and working with players like Salah. For me, as is unbelievable. As my first job and my first role in my new career. So I can see you. I can tell you that. The African football is something that I love, as well as the Arab football. Are two different footballs, but with a lot of growth ahead of them. I think they can improve a lot. But of course, the main thing is changing the systems. Especially in the roots. They need to take care of the kids. They need to, because that's the real future of football. If you don't change the system, if you don't create your own players from the very first moment, it's going to be very difficult for them then to go and play in the big leagues. You can see Algeria, the winners, they had nearly all the players, or Ghana, playing in Euro, in different leagues. And we had only 4 players playing in Euro. So that makes a big difference. I love the Egyptian football. For me, it was a challenge. The African Cup was not that good because, I couldn't enjoy it. I couldn't be on the bench because of the rules of the African Cup. So for me, I got in mind coming back maybe one day to Egypt and try to be head coach and winning something. It's something that I got in here in my heart because, the Egyptian fans, they always treated me really, really well. And I didn't have the power to give them back. Yeah. So at some point, I want to give them back one day.
We would love to have you actually at the head of any Arabic team. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.